I know there are a lot of people in the world struggling with alcohol, and I bet many of you have had the same reason that I had. It was to escape. We're living in a world that told us we have to fit into a box that we might not have even realized that we're not supposed to fit into, that there is more in this life for us than having someone else tell us to do for a price that they determine. And at the end of the day, for those of us who do not fit into that box, it becomes so terribly painful after a while to live a life that is completely incongruent with who we are, with our skills, with our capabilities, with the impact that we're supposed to have on the world. And if you can't recognize that and figure out how to get around from it, you've got to have some kind of escape. And for me, that escape was definitely alcohol. I think 553 days, I'd have to check the clock, 550 something since my last drink. So somewhat new, but definitely locked into this. I'm never drinking again. I'm done with it. That's out of my life forever. And I want to just take you guys, share a little bit of my journey of how I got to that point with you. I hope that maybe this resonates with some who are, whether you're just considering a life without alcohol, whether you're pursuing it and you're having troubles really bringing that together, or maybe some of you are actually making progress, and it's just good to hear somebody else that's dealt with this. So, for me, it was a couple years of really committing to stopping. At first I thought it was just a 6-month break, and I'm actually going to put a card in this video here, maybe a link below the video, that will show you that first 6-month journey, because it was really an amazing story. It ended up with me living on the beach out in California in an SUV that I turned into a tiny home. I made a really awesome adventure out of a really bad situation. But let me explain how I got to that point. For a lot of people who want to quit drinking, but they just are having trouble making it happen, you've gotten to a point in life where you've lost a lot of self-belief, you've lost a lot of confidence, you've gotten out of shape, you're not the best version of yourself. It seems impossible to become that version of yourself. You don't know where to get started. This might come on the heels of loss of a relationship, of a divorce, of something financial like a home, maybe a career, maybe an injury that changes your life. A lot of people, it can come with loss. A lot of us men, things started going bad around 2020. I was in a marriage I should have never been in. It was kind of a joke, but it's where I was. And 2020, I ended up really drinking hard, but it was a real issue for a long time. But it wasn't until, was it 2023 then? Yeah, it was September of 2023 when I had my last drink. It was a couple years after the divorce. But the thing that brought me through, the thing that gave me the strength and confidence and drive to get there, was stepping into the gym, was beginning to focus on physical fitness. And it's hard to truly describe what happened when I stepped through the gym door the first day. I said I was changing my life forever. I said, this is my new life. I'm doing this until I die. I was 39 at the time. And so now I'm, I don't know if I should actually be putting out my age, but I'm closing in on my mid-40s, in the best shape of my life. I've got lines all over my body. I got veins all over my body. My cardio's in great health. I have confidence. I know that I can do the things that I want to do because I've come to the point where the more uncomfortable and challenging and hard it is, the more I want to go head on into it, because I see a world full of people who won't, who can't, who don't, who never learned that thing, that never accessed that thing in themselves, that, all right, here's something hard and uncomfortable, let's go into this. But it was not like that on day one. I was so defeated. When you see the pictures of me on day one in the gym, and just the look on my face, and my big belly hanging over my belt, and my big flabby love handle sides, But that was, about 1,250 days ago. And it still took me a year or two of that, of being in the gym, of really trying to quit drinking before I was able to have that last drink. But what happened over that time in the gym was I began to develop strength. I began to develop resilience. I began to be able to embrace that discomfort. And, you know, I didn't even really know what I was doing mentally, but there was something that was coming together. So the way that this really worked out, now initially I said I was going to take a 6-month break, because at the time, I think for a lot of people who drinking has become such an integral part of their life, it's a really scary thing to say, I'm not going to do this again. And if you try saying I'm never going to drink again, then, you know, and then if you have a drink, then, you know, it's all out the window. So I said 6 months, and I hope you check out that video that I put the card up here for, that brings you through my first 90 days. It brings you to the first 6 months. And I've got another one about the first year. These are beautiful, amazing stories that I hope that I have throughout my life to show and tell people about. So getting into the gym while trying to quit drinking gave me the strength to quit drinking. And as I quit drinking, that let me get more focused and become better at the gym, better at what I was eating. And, you know, a couple years later now, I'm getting to Instagram level fitness, to where maybe I'll come to this video and put some pictures in. I've got some good ones coming up on that. So just check the channel back real soon. I'll show you some shirt off before and afters and stuff. And you know, for somebody at my age that's not taking any easy routes, no Ozempic, no testosterone, no steroids, just going into the gym twice a day. I do 12 to 14 times in the gym a week. And this happened as a result. First, getting into the gym gave me the strength to quit drinking. Once I quit drinking, it made me better in the gym. And I just started realizing how amazing it is when you start pushing yourself and taking to the next level of discomfort. And what happens as a result of all that, you start to develop real self-belief. You start to develop real confidence. You start to understand, hey, here's a challenge in front of me. I am going to handle this challenge. And now, like, not drinking, you know, there's I don't even want to say cravings. There's still acknowledgments that seems like it would be fun for a little while, but I also know the truth that I was past the point of no return, and you can't. That is the point of no return. When it comes to drinking, there ain't no, I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to become a normal drinker. I'm just going to become a moderate drinker. That's not real. That is a lie. So, you know, it's hard to at first acknowledge that this thing that has become such a big part of life is something that can no longer be a part of life. But if you find something that helps you get to the point where you really remove it, like for me, the gym, it ends up becoming this amazing snowball effect. You get in the gym, you get a little better, you stop drinking, you get a little better, then you get more focused on gym and nutrition, and then you step that up, then you start going out after your dreams and your goals and the things that you couldn't bring yourself around to do, and you start to believe that even if this doesn't pay off now, even if this doesn't pay off this year, even if this doesn't pay off this decade, I'm moving in a direction that I know is going to produce the result that I'm seeking, even if I have to figure it out, even if I have to make motion without truly understanding everything. You can spend your entire life planning, trying to come up with the perfect idea. It's not going to go the way you want it to. Or you can just start moving, figure it out, course correct, move more, figure it out, course correct, screw things up, make mistakes, backstep, course correct, and keep moving. And you keep doing that week after week, month after month, year after year. It pays off. It's going to pay off better than having the most perfect plan or game blueprint. Better than the most perfect plan or blueprint. The sun's over there. Maybe this will be a little better. So we all have different vices that we're fighting with. Alcohol isn't everybody's problem. It's a lot more of a problem than I think our society likes to admit. There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of culture in it. But problems can be different. You know, sloth and gluttony. Sitting around, filling your face with pizza, burritos, and beer, watching adult content, spending hours and hours and hours of your valuable time playing video games, watching Netflix, watching multiple sporting events on a day, even though there's only one that really mattered to you. You know, I don't watch TV. I don't play video games at all. I don't do any of that. All I do is I work and I work out. That's it. I create and I work out. I have a freelance business where I do the same type of stuff I'm doing here for a client. And then I do this for myself, and I go to the gym twice a day. I don't have time for anything else. And these are all productive actions. These are creative. These are bringing good into the environment, into the world, into my life, into my body. This is not destructive. This is not wasteful. This is not bringing anyone down. And it really is amazing the things you can start to find in yourself and see in the world when you can just start moving forward. You know, it took me longer than I would have liked to quit drinking. It cost more money than I expected because I had to put myself in a very challenging, uncomfortable environment, 1,300 miles from home, living in a presidential motorcade SUV I turned into a tiny home. Didn't have a job, had $700 to my name when I left, not enough money, but I set the date and I left when I said I was going to leave. And that's something that has given me this amazing, amazing element of self-belief that I didn't have 3 years ago. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Doesn't matter what. I see it through, period. And man, how can you not develop confidence and self-belief when you realize that you say you're going to do something and you do it? And I set a goal and I'm going to do it. And I might not have the path, I might not know how long it's going to take, but I believe in myself that I'm going to keep doing whatever hard work, however uncomfortable it may be, until it pays off. And I hope to find the right way to inspire and encourage others to find this within themselves. Whether it be removing a horrible vice like alcohol, or maybe you just need to find that thing in yourself that gets you moving forward. Maybe you just need the inspiration to start moving so that you can develop the confidence to keep moving. And you know, step by step, day by day, this stuff is going to pay off. This video right here might mean nothing right now because all I've got is some really cool videos of me, you know, on mountaintops, camped out on the beach on the West Coast with my mobile weight set, setting my weight set up out on the beach, working out on the beach. It's pretty cool, but is it anybody who even sees that really going to care what I have to say yet? I don't know, but I'm going to keep creating content. I'm going to keep pursuing the best version of myself, and no matter how wacky the world gets here, you know, March of 2023 right now, no matter how challenging and weird things get, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to focus my time and energy on the things that are scary, the things that would be upsetting or triggering. I'm not going to give them any energy. I'm not going to get wrapped up into politics. I'm not going to let news worry me, you know, because all the time and energy I could put into that and yelling at people and posting negative things online, that's opportunity cost. I could be putting that same time and energy into creating videos, into telling the stories that I love to tell, editing the footage that I'm proud of having, and learning how to speak with you more like this. You know, it might take thousands of these before any of these really resonate. I've had a couple viral videos. One's closing in on 500,000 views, people mostly watch it on their television. It was about me, how I live on the beach on California for almost nothing. Had another viral video. It was 100-something thousand views, but 43,000 hours of watch time. It's a documentary I produced. You know, just had nothing to do with my channel content. Well, I was creative with that, but I had to take that one down because it was having a destructive effect on everything else I was doing. And I had to weigh out the pros and cons of having a video that had nothing to do with my channel up versus continuing to develop my voice and my brand and figure out what is my unique way that I can have a positive impact on the world. Now, this is all the result of getting in the gym and getting sober, being able to actually define that my purpose in the world is to help people create the best versions of themselves, to help men that feel lost and defeated get themselves sober and fit, find that self-belief, and start moving towards something that matters in their lives. And the crazy thing is, after 20 years past college of trying to figure out how I fit into this world and just striking out and numbing it away with poison, it was the challenges, it was my vices, it was the biggest, hardest things in my life that created my purpose. And I know that there are a lot of other people out there who can take that thing that was harmful to their life, that was destructive in their life, and turn it into something amazing, have a positive impact on other people, help each other, and have this spread like a virus, treating each other well, desiring for all of humanity to be in a better place. And that has nothing to do with politics, money, anything else. This is just truly desiring for our neighbors to be happy and healthy and prosperous as much as we want the same things for ourselves. And the more that we can approach life like that, that it is truly important that the people we don't agree with, that the people who annoy us, and the people who we like, and the people we don't know, and don't have an opinion one way or another, don't know what to think, that we still desire for them, that they have the best life possible. And for me, I know that there are a lot of people in this world that their best version of their life and of themselves is a sober and a fit version. And over the years, I'm going to create the voice that can be a true beacon of inspiration, that can help people find their direction, that can be a resource for them to look to, like the resources I've found that helped me figure this out for myself. This process might have been quicker if I had a little more direction from people that have been in bad places like me. But I'm really glad I figured it out on my own. And now I'm here ready to do whatever it takes to have a positive and productive and constructive impact on the world. And I see the neighbor's dog running loose. I'm going to go get the neighbors. I'll talk to you later.